Hi, everybody. This is the Evan Knight Show. I want to give you a little bit of insight into Hollywood. I worked as a bouncer at the biggest nightclubs in Hollywood for over 20 years. I did that, but I went to UCLA Film School to be a director. And I tried to make a show called Coolest Car Show. I have the coolestcarshow.com, the trademarks. I shot a trailer, have a pretty cast, and it was not only making cars, but it was reviewing other car companies that were popping up in the California area. And I got rejected by a dozen companies, a dozen producers, and they all said that it was too sexy because it was heterosexual women, and that essentially they wanted a transgender, they wanted a lesbian, some suicide type girl with a face tattoo. And I said, hey, these are all really like Wonder Woman. I grew up on Wonder Woman and Raquel Welch and really beautiful, sexy, feminine women. And I realized in pitching this show that making a woman be very positive is not what they wanted. And I sadly learned this at film school, the different reasons or the different ways you can pervert a culture and actually get people to like things that they wouldn't normally like. There's actual psychological tricks you could do with color and all different types of things as a movie maker. And what they do is they try to pervert society. When I said, hey, Coolest Car Show is a show of these five, it could have been a different number, but five in the show, pretty girls, and they're helpful and smart. They work on cars. One's a really good driver. One shoots guns, plays golf. She's a really interesting woman. Another one has literally 2 master's degrees, but she likes cars. Really interesting, powerful women. They didn't like that. They also didn't like seeing breastises. They didn't like a woman. They're like, what's that? It's like, those are breasts. She's wearing a t-shirt. You could tell she's a woman. No. They want more the Jennifer Aniston, boy, girl next door. They don't want feminine, old-fashioned looking women like pinup girls. A girl's naturally beautiful. They don't want that. They don't want that. The few that squeak through, the Selma Hayeks, they have to be pretty much communists, or Hollywood won't let them through. Hollywood won't let through powerful, smart, sexy women, because that is a deal breaker when it goes to their other transgender and their other, visual cues they're trying to do. They're trying to make not being feminine look attractive. They're trying very, very hard to make a feminine woman seem outdated and like a Neanderthal man. That is what they're trying to do. So they don't want a show with really pretty girls being smart, being kind. It's the opposite of like TikTok. It's the opposite of Twitter. It's not just these short little bursts of tawdriness. It's this woman who's a deep thinking, like mother of 2. She's smart. She buys and sells cars on the side. She makes money. She's a really smart woman. It's a true story. They don't want that. It's we want a girl with the face tattoo. We want a couple lesbians. We want, if you would do it, a transgender, you're good to go. I turned down millions of dollars because I didn't want to make a intentionally misleading false show where they put in a transgender or a couple lesbians or pretend lesbians, one with the face tattoo. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this. So I'd rather work for another 5-6 years as a bouncer at nightclubs. I would rather do other things, make little commercials and things, but not make it mainstream. Because just so you know, there's a big picture that goes back to Operation Mockingbird. They're trying to take apart society. They can't have a voluptuous, smart girl doing her thing. It's like Wonder Woman. You're going to have all of a sudden girls growing up wanting to be that. And you're going to undermine their whole mission by 20 years just by 1 or 2 pretty, powerful, smart women. Okay? They have to be confused little communists. They have to be girls doing bad things and making that almost look cool instead of a really wonderful girl. They got to shut her down in every possible way. So if you're for the Second Amendment, oh, that's terrible. So they just have a whole litany of things they look for. But I enjoyed working over 20 years to bouncer at nightclubs because I got to throw out a lot of the same guys, or not let in some of the same guys that wanted to control in a bad way my show. So it was kind of a yin and a yang to it. It was quite fun, quite enjoyable. But Yeah, just a little bit of insight into Hollywood and the weirdness of it all.